It's still morning, and I just wanted to give you some updates. Um, I know I try to repeat a lot of things on purpose just to keep people caught up because seriously, almost every day something is going on. But I'm trying to prevent that, and I'm trying to get back to just boring old life, right? Um, so yesterday, I don't think I live streamed at all yesterday. No, I didn't. So yesterday was fine. I kind of woke up a little kind of bleh, groggy, I guess. Yesterday was Monday. And um I was wait, is it? Let me double check. Yes. Yesterday was Monday. And I don't know, maybe it was something going on with me. Like I sometimes I tend to get vertigo or whatever, but so I kind of woke up not in the best of mornings or whatever, and but I was strong and ready to do something at least over here. So I ended up just, instead of doing some heavy work over here in the kitchen where I kind of want to and need to do, I ended up just cleaning up and organizing, which is again very beneficial. So while I was doing all of that yesterday, um apparently the night before something happened. My brother woke up in the middle of the night. Sometimes he does, and that's, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that's going to be few and far between now. But he woke up and he left the apartment. And again, these are things that like kind of bother me because I'm not sure if he's being safe, if we're like, what's he doing, kind of thing, and I can't stop him. So he left the apartment, and I don't know for how long. And he came back, I guess, and he took a shower, and um something happened where I saw some writing that said 911 on it, and he was like, I guess, questioning himself on should he call it or not, or say it out loud or whatever. But the thing is, he does not have a phone, and this is on purpose. He says he doesn't want cell phones anymore, which is fine with me. I'm still on the fence on getting a house phone because that's not gonna, that kind of thing. I'm trying to find a middle ground with that, but um, so he had it written down about 911, and it kind of concerned me a little bit, but I was like, okay, yeah. But he doesn't have anything to dial it with, so I don't know if he'll be able to do that. Um, so I came over here, did some work, and I just checked on some things, and then I came back over there to the apartment, and the door was wide open. At first, that was kind of alarming to me because he had did it before. Upstairs there is a dog that is waiting for its owner in the afternoons, and they'll be hitting its tail on the ground, and that makes my brother think that somebody's knocking at the door, at our door, and he'll open the door and leave it open. But yeah, so it was propped wide open, and then when I got into the apartment, my brother was leaning over the counter, and I was like, "What's going on? Like, are you okay?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, my groin again. It's like, so he over exercised again. Because of his memory, he doesn't remember that if he's feeling better, it doesn't mean you just start back exercising the same way again. Like, he has injured himself. Like, he's a runner. And he re-injured his groin apparently either last that night before, between Sunday Monday night, or that morning. And he was leaning over the counter, like, I guess he was in pain, a lot of pain. And I was like, well, let me get you to lay down or something. Like, you leaning over the counter is not helping. So I got him to lay down. I made him some dinner. I gave him some Tylenol. I saw writing around the apartment again about a hospital, an address. So he was trying to go to the hospital. Like, his first instinct is to dial 911, right? And that's what I'm trying to break the habit of, because he just pulled a muscle. It's not like he is dying. So I gave him the Tylenol. I gave him a hot how can I say this? It's like this is a trick, a hack by the way. So you heat up some water, you get a wash rag, you dip the wash rag in the hot water, you get it all nice and hot and steamy like a hot towel kind of situation. Then you put the wash rag into a plastic bag, and then I gave it to him. That instantly made the pain go away. I keep telling him women, and he doesn't know this. Again, he's 48. He's lost like 20 years of time. So I tell him, it's like women every month we go through this kind of pain every month. So we know how to treat it. It's not an emergency. It's not 911. You don't call the paramedics kind of thing. And you just do that. So gave him the hot wash rag in a bag, and that he just like, oh, that's so much better. I was like, yeah, we don't call the hospital, and this is me trying to just retrain him, teach him that this is not something that you call the hospital for. Meanwhile, I do have telemedicine set up for him, and he still doesn't know. Like I'm still even teaching him how to email. He doesn't know how to email, and I'm real talk on this. So I have to kind of teach him that every ache and pain doesn't mean dialing 911 or emotional pain, and that's something else we're working on too. Um, but it got close in that had he had a phone, he might have called. Had he if somebody walked by, I think he was waiting for somebody else to walk by and say dial 911, kind of thing. I was like, that is not a 911. It's not. Okay, I'm already still trying to pay those bills from February, March, and April when he called. So I I have to write these things down. So I'll have to write down what he needs to do when he has a pulled muscle. You've got to relax your body. You got to take the Tylenol. You gotta put the hot towel situation on you, or a heating pad. He has a heating pad. I gave it to him, but he doesn't use it. Again, because of his probably his memory, he didn't know how to use it. So I kind of have to show him. So there's that. Um, and then I'll probably get a hot water bottle, old school, one of those. And that will help him not think that his pain is like you call the paramedics for. Um, so yeah. But the thing is, I also noticed, even though he was in pain, it didn't trigger the psychosis. That's the other thing that I noticed. Because normally, even as of last week, when he is in pain, if he gets confused, if something like upsets him, it aggravates the psychosis, and he'll just start or have a panic attack. He didn't. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the more progress, and I'm definitely taking it. So once I got him calm enough to lay down, he was back to his I would say semi homeostasis self. Like he was still probably hearing voices, but at least he was laughing at them. So he's one where he'll laugh at the voices, whatever they're saying to him. I guess they're funny. But I got him back to that. So while I was making him dinner and breakfast for the rest, or meals for the rest of the week, he was able to eat, take his afternoon medication, and he went to sleep. And he did pretty much slept through the night. He did wake up though. Even though he says he woke up and he was wandering around. At least he didn't leave the apartment. So yeah. So that's more progress. And I'm taking it, honey. So if anything, I have to start definitely I am making a book. It's partly already at the apartment. Things to do in case of emergencies. Like he needs that. He needs life skills that he may have never got because his mental illness started so early in his life, or he may have forgotten because mental illness can also affect your brain, and the head injury on top of that. So I'm gonna probably even make a video on how to do the telemedicine and send it to him some kind of way, or get it to his computer where he can see it. Because he did try maybe a couple of weeks ago to do telemedicine, but and that was for a therapist, but he didn't follow. He didn't finish because I was, on my way there, and we tried, and it didn't really work out. But anyway, yeah. So there's that. And what my plan is in the next hopefully hour or so is to call another agency. So there was one agency I did call, and they said that they would not take his Medicaid. And this is the thing that I keep running into, y'all. Like, a lot of these therapists, they'll put on their websites that they do take Medicaid and all this other stuff, and they're like, no, never mind, we don't. I'm like, stop lying, okay? So I've got to call some other people for other things now, hoping that I'm stuck in between him still trying to get to a doctor. He he seems like he is a little bit more calm in general, which is good. And I think that's the taurine that I'm giving him. And the B vitamins are coming. The niacin is coming. That's also going to help. And I also am looking into creatine. And creatine I had taken in the past for cognitive support. But I was like, wait a minute. All the things I've been using for myself in the past, 10-ish years, this could also help him too. So I already take taurine on and off. So I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can need to get him on that. And it seems like taurine is helping him a lot. The B vitamins, the B3 more precisely that I'm looking for, B3, which is niacin. And there's the difference between the flushing and the non-flushing. I'm going to try the non-flushing only because I was thinking about how the reaction of the flushing might trigger his psychosis. So I had to kind of keep that in mind too. So I'm going to try the non-flushing and see if that's going to help. I'm hoping it will. And then the creatine. So I don't want to go too hard too fast. And then I started putting back in the omega-3s into his supplements. And I'm telling him all this stuff. And now he's remembering. Like this morning, I was like, see, I'm putting in the omega-3s. Like, yeah, is that fish oil? It's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I like that. Okay. So yeah, he is starting to engage a lot more. He's coming around to his being himself a little bit more. It's coming. It's coming. But it is that nutrition, in my opinion. It's like, and taurine is an amino acid. Okay, it's not a vitamin. Now B3 is a vitamin, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think all the B vitamins are actually not vitamins. I don't know. But taurine seems to be really, really helping him a lot right now. And that's good. So yeah, hopefully with the other B vitamin coming through, and then creatine is what I'm looking for to help build up his memory, to help him come out of psychosis so much. And I'm going to end with this because he did, in my conversation with him this morning, sometimes I'm trying to see how resilient can he be with conversations about his mental health. In the past, up until maybe a day or two ago, he didn't want to talk about it. Today, I asked him about the voices, and he was able to tell me. He's like, yeah, the voices, it's like, can you tell them to stop? And he's like, no. It's like, the more you ignore them, the more they come. And I was like, oh, okay. Because of something else, like he writes, and that's how I know what he writes. Like, as I said earlier in this video, the voices sometimes will tell him to do certain things or say certain things or believe certain things, and he writes it down. And so I ask, so are these voices, do they are you planning on doing these things when you write them down, or are you just writing it down so you can throw it away? And I think it's the latter. I think sometimes I think it's both, you know, but yeah, but we're making progress though. Okay. But like and subscribe. I do have a playlist of all of this. It's got like what? It almost has 100 videos now on this playlist. If you're a caregiver, if you've got a loved one that's dealing with mental illness, health, wellness, if it's you that's dealing with it, you can watch the playlist. I'm trying to empathize and honor my brother as best I can while try to get him into remission, because the research says he can go into remission with this. And I don't think he believed until maybe the last couple of days. So yeah, he didn't call 911 only because he didn't have a phone. But I got to start teaching him, you got to take care of your body. You got to start using tools like writing things down when you exercise, that kind of stuff. All right, friends. With that, I'm going to say take care. Be out there. Peace.